against estimates of a 0.2% contraction. Okay, all right, all the global market action that we just spoke about, but of course they'll impact our own markets in some way. So let's get in our research team. They're joining us with the trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Vivek, a fresh new week, a fresh new day. Tell us, what is the market setup looking like today?
Well, good morning. An action-packed week, awaits us. A lot of action in terms of, both economic front as well as, back home earnings as well. Most important would be to watch, of course, the FOMC meet outcome. U.S. markets are poised to end this particular week with, substantial gains, and this is something that bodes quite well as far as equity indices are concerned. Most of the U.S. markets, in fact, the Dow Jones has gained over 5% for this particular month itself. When you're talking about European markets ended Friday's session on a mixed note, and if you're talking about the European markets, again, quite a lot of action there, quite a lot of volatility there. But despite that, most of the European markets actually ended the session of the day's low. Coming closer home, especially when you're talking about gold prices and commodity prices, gold prices went down over 1% on Friday. And when you're talking about crude oil prices actually, when you're talking about it, are trading near the $90 per barrel mark, and this is again something that we need to keep a close eye on. Closer home, when you're talking about the important cues as far as results is concerned, today 3 important results are there. Infrastructure major L&T, Bharti Airtel, as well as Tata Steel are the companies that will be delivering the results. And another important event to track as far as the economic outcome is concerned is the interim RBI meet. This is something that markets will be keenly anticipating in terms of the commentary. Also keep an eye out for on the SGX Nifty, indicating quite a substantial gap up as far as the Indian markets are concerned.
Oh yes, it is up 182 points as we speak. Vivek, thank you so much for all those cues. Let's talk about stocks now. Surbhi is joining us with the list of stocks that will be in focus today. Good morning, Surbhi.
Quite a few result reactions to track this morning. The first one is Dr. Reddy's, where the company reported highest ever revenue and EBITDA. The revenue grew 9.4% and the EBITDA margins came in at 31% versus 27% same time last year. Indian Oil Corporation, big beat on estimates led by the LPG grant given by the government. The revenue was down 7%, but the EBITDA was up 44%. Next is NTPC, where the profitability came in below estimates, but the average realizations have risen from higher mix of imported coal. Next is Tata Power, where the company reported strong results across verticals. The EPC segment saw margin improvement on a year-on-year basis. Next is JSW Energy, where it was a muted operational quarter. The revenue was up 14%, but the EBITDA, that was down 4.3% on a year-on-year basis. Vedanta, the numbers were mostly in line with estimates. The revenue came in at 36,600 crores and the EBITDA came in at 7,700 crores versus a CNBC poll of 7,300 crores. IFB Industries, where the revenue was up 14%, but the margins came in at 6.3% versus 7.1% same time last year. And lastly, Lupin, where the US FDA inspected the company's Nagpur facility and issued 5 observations to the company.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Surbhi. And let's talk about F&O now. Mangalam is joining in with all those cues. Hey, Mangalam.
Good morning. So it looks like it will be a stellar morning for the bulls because that's what the SGX Nifty is indicating. 18,000 plus as far as the open is concerned on the SGX Nifty, a 180 point bump up. The question, however, is what you do after that. Well, I'll be watching out for a couple of cues. Well, on Friday, we saw the FII sell about 600 crores in the cash market. DIIs went ahead and bought. So net institutional inflows were on the positive side. That trend continued. However, remember last week was a truncated week. We had a lot of holidays, etc. So gross volumes on the lower side on Friday's trading session. So when that recovers today, will be interesting to see which way the trend moves. Early days in the series, on day 1 of the series, FI sold about 624 crores in the cash in the index future space, where they added about 5,900 shorts. Remember, they started the series with 59% long exposure. That's now just gone down to around 57%. No worries there. They still remain net long on the index. However, the interesting data points came in from the index option space, where they bought more calls than puts, hoping for a bit of an upside. But at the same time, they also sold more calls than puts. That's telling you that upper levels would perhaps see some bit of congestion. Where would that congestion be? Well, 17,800, 17,900 as well as 18,000 calls. together saw over 30 lakh shares being added in open interest, and that would be the interesting test to watch out for in today's trading session, because the SGX Nifty is indicating a start upwards of 18,000. Will there be call writers covering their positions above 17,950 is the big question we need the answer to. And at the lower level, you know, 17,700 and 17,800 puts have seen some writing. So the question is, have support levels moved higher to 17,650 to 17,700? So that's the setup from the F&O space.
All right, okay. Mangalam, Vivek and Surbhi, thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through all the cues that will be in focus today. With that, we'll slip into a break now. Up next, we'll get you all the cues from the commodities market. Stay tuned.